Are you struggling to create your boundaries for celibacy in order for you to wait until marriage? So that we're not failing and taking yells on that one, I want you to stay tuned to the very end because I'll be jumping to some topics that will actually be able to help you. Hi, my name is Keanon Slade and I have successfully achieved FIRE. That is, I'm financially independent, retired early, and I'm here in sunny Costa Rica. More than that, I'm a life coach to help good guys build a great life outside the US. Part of building a great life is not just did you achieve FIRE and picking the right place. Is this place for you, or did you want to live in Antarctica? It doesn't matter. Wherever it is, you need to be able to build a great life outside the US. If you don't have spiritual things going on, your spiritual life is jacked up because you engaged in premarital sex and you're entangled with various people around the world at this point because you've left, then that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to enjoy your utopia. We're going to get into some things that will be able to help you on your journey. The first thing that you need to understand about your boundary is why you're creating your boundary. It seems simple, but a lot of times we're just like, we're vague about it. But really, for me, it's I really want to honor and respect God. I know what it is like to have sex before you're married and then create all this bad stuff that enters your life throughout the years. And I was like, oh, my lovely Heavenly Father warned me of this. I just didn't listen. And yes, I want to honor him, but I also know the ramifications of having sex outside of marriage. That's one of mine that's very important. The other reason for me is I don't want to be clouded while I'm dating. If you've had sex, then all the bad stuff that you was like, I don't know if I can deal with it. You're like, oh, I can deal with it. It's okay. I'll accept this. I'll accept that. You know, this fall, that fall, da, 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 da. And I'm not talking about you finding the perfect person. I'm talking about things that you would not deal with as a friend. You're like, I'll just take it. She looks good and the sex was great. And subconsciously, physically, this is all going to your body. You're clouded. You're no longer operating in truth. If you didn't have sex with them and then you started with intellectual stuff, you'd be like, oh, they're not even a good friend. They're not even trustworthy. You want to be able to get to that part first, way before you ever think about sex. Of course, marriage comes before sex. You want to be clear in what you're doing. And honestly, I've been in situations where I've stayed in relationships and honestly, got into bad relationships because I'm having sex before marriage. If you guys are resonating with what we're talking about, I want you guys to watch to the very end because I have some things that will come together and I don't want you to just get one point, but I want you to be able to get all the points so that you have a complete picture. The next point is define your boundaries and define your boundaries before you get into the temptation. Many times they're like, oh, we'll play it by ear when we get to her house. Oh, wow, she's naked. Should I find some boundary? Maybe I'll just lay naked on this side of the bed. No, you're in the wrong realm, wrong environment to create any boundaries. Now you need to actually have boundaries set up ahead of time. Again, you've already defined why you want boundaries, but you want to have your boundaries set up. You want to be able to communicate those boundaries. This is why you start with conversation, communication first. This is the boundary. You cross it. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be any more of us. It's easier to do that in the beginning of your relationship than to find out, okay, yeah, she's not for me and she's not going to do whatever she can to protect me, because nowadays it goes both ways. Before this conversation, it would have been to my daughter for protecting them from men, but now it's to my son protecting him from women. It goes both ways now. And so you want to be able to already have your boundaries set. You already know your whys and you want to be able to stick by them. When they start invading your boundaries in one area, it is not a good sign for all the other areas. I want you guys to click on the link below so that, especially if you're ready to fire or move abroad, I want you guys to realize that, hey, there's more that you have to take into consider. Let's get into the next point. This is probably obvious, but for some odd reason, again, if you don't have the boundaries, you'll find yourself in these places. You want to avoid places that tempt you. One example is that you know that if you go to her house or you go to your house, and there's no one there, then that you're going to be tempted to have sex, especially when it's late at night, or heck, it can be in the middle of the day. If no one's there, you don't want to do that. If you're especially in that beginning stage and you haven't quite got the boundaries set, you don't know, where her boundaries are, you don't want to be tested out in situations, especially when you know that you're physically attracted to each other. You want to be able to stay in public places, do public things, and not end up alone with that person. I know it sounds obvious now, but then you get the situation, it's so nice. Let's just continue walking through your house. So know yourself, to set boundaries in yourself and definitely set boundaries on the other person. The question for you today is, do you really think boundaries are important? Do you need them, or is this just an old-fashioned, old-school thing? Let me know your whys one way or the other. Put in the comments below. Just set curfews for yourself. If you know that you're going to end up in some place, maybe you're in a different country and you use Uber, and you know Uber gets kind of crappy at a certain hour, you're too close to the beach or something like that. Don't get stuck like, oh, well. And don't let her get stuck. Set curfews for the simple stuff. Set curfews for the hour when you get tired. When you get tired, you're more susceptible, you're weaker. Whatever that situation is, that is a good general ballpark arrow to shoot, if you will, or most of us. But if there's something else that you have, you want to be able to set curfews so that that hour doesn't hit where you're like, okay, forget it, let's go for it. You're creating boundaries here, and you need to respect those. This one is powerful because you want to actually have an accountability partner. Now, accountability partner should be that person that be like, hey, you're about to break your boundaries. Look at the clock. You said that you can, be, near her house at 8 o'clock, and everything you plan out is going to be dark at 8 o'clock. You're going to arrive at her house at 8 o'clock. It's not going to be good. Those are the things that you want an accountability partner, someone that can actually get in, be real, and be like, hey, no, you're doing something stupid. Just completely stupid. You want somebody to be real, and you want them to be available. A good accountability partner, you might need more than one, to be like, hey, it's 11 o'clock, and she just called, and whoa. Yeah, you want to have someone that is available, that got your back. Another thing that you want to do to help create boundaries, because I kind of told you what you shouldn't do, what you should do, honestly, this will actually help you in your relationship anyway, is to bring that person around your friends. Do group activities together. So, when you're with that person, they get to know them, but you're not alone. If you got some good friends, when you get together, when you get even married, your friends should be a part of that. Good friends are going to be able to see, okay, this person is, not the person. They're not going to help your values. They're overprotective. A good friend will be like, hey, that's not good. But also when it comes to protecting your celibacy, they'll be like, where are you two going to? You're going to drop her off. It's 10 o'clock at night. The girl could be like, I'll hook you up and I'll drop her off. And you go home with your boy and we'll meet up another day. The next thing I'll say is practice the fruit of the spirit, which is self-control. When you're practicing self-control, especially in this area, it'll actually help you because you'll realize you need the dependency of God to help you so that you don't just do whatever you want, whenever you want to. With that, you're actually getting stronger in the spirit because you realize I gotta rely on God for the self-control because I don't have it. And again, how the partners and friends and everything else I just mentioned. And it will actually help strengthen you to be able to move forward with your celibacy. And lastly, I want you guys to hang around like-minded people. There are people that you're like, maybe they're your day ones, but they don't have the same views or values that you have. And so you get in the car with them and they're playing sex music. I'm not talking about love music. I'm talking about, girl, put it in and da-da-da-da. Yeah, sex. And so they're tempting you without even realizing they're tempting you. You want to be around people that are going to help strengthen you. Hey, I know how hard it is. Whenever you need me, just give me a call. I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Y'all want to hang out, but y'all want to hang out. We'll arrange our schedule so that we can all hook up and so that we can do something where you're not completely isolated all the time. You want to find people that are like-minded, and that will definitely help you on your journey. That will definitely create boundaries with you, and it'll be healthy boundaries. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the link below, and I will see you guys on the other side.